Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Ezekiel, the founder and CEO of Creative Virtual, and I'm joined today by Phil Hall, the founder and MD of Elzware. And today we want to talk about conversational AI, which is a very topical subject at the moment, and some of the issues that we're both seeing around this.
I think what's really interesting, being that you and I have had such long history, is from the company and the consultancy point of view. We're still in a position where we're less double guessing when the market will start, which we used
Mm,
to have that conversation every year. It's more a matter of what's important in the market. And I was very impressed with your recent release, with the Glue-On release. I thought as a platform it worked brilliantly, and looked like it was very easy to consume and to be identified against different roles within organizations. I mean, you remember one of the financial organizations we worked for years gone by, and we sat in front of the underwriters and went for, afternoons on afternoons, discussing commas and full stops and so on of the delivered output. That's not even the
mm,
understanding piece. So I think that kind of stepping away from it's a black box, let's see what we can prod it. I mean, where I am right now, particularly with the work we're doing in healthcare, looking to deliver structured information in a high risk area, as defined by the European Council, and their work recently, and Council of Europe. I mean, there's a lot of interesting work going on in the EU right now. Is that we are, well, I see it as a block of stone, Chris. Yeah, I see the construction of the big data is not some pleasant little lake that people can fish in, sort of IBM style. I see what we've got here. These models is that they're stone, and within the stone is the information that you need.
mm,
And what that then joins us together with is, what are the tools? How do the tools fit together? How do you
mm,
create, and how do you then allow that block of stone to rely in a refinement of the model? Yeah. And part
mm,
of that is the prompt engineering and the methods
mm,
for actually applying it. Part of that is the vectorization and the embeddings. But I mean, as we come towards that kind of how to use good quality platforms and good quality consultancy to be able to feel unafraid, but
mm.
equally to be, in a position where you've got a good risk analysis and something that's being tracked in real time. Yeah, um, I think we're probably looking at a far broader conversation at that point, Chris.
Exactly. I think you touched on a couple of things though. One is the consulting element to it. I mean, that's absolutely crucial today. I mean, we've quite quickly turned into, um, and we have to be clear on this. It's not just the GPT stuff. It's large language models generally. That local version, I think we've tested about over 20 of them now in terms of putting them in locally. And I think what we're doing as a company now is providing that consultancy, running proof of concepts with our customers so that they can actually start seeing this for real and being able to do that very quickly. So we've really kind of spun in a way, and as much as we have the product, it's the consultancy. But we shouldn't forget those bits you said about gluing stuff together. I mean, these are just one content source. There's many content sources when we deploy these systems. Of course, some of it's personalization information, other knowledge management systems on the back end, many different systems, links to contact center systems. But the thing that we always come back to, and that's been the constant over those 20 years, is how good is your content, and being able to have a system that can, yeah, take these stones, pebbles, bricks, stones, buildings, if you like, all different sources of information, make them work seamlessly together, but also give the organization control over the content, because there's no getting away from that. The content that these large language models use, the ones that you do prompt engineering on, say, to make it aware of the content in the organization, needs to be fit for purpose. It needs to be updated, controlled, and it might be the more boring stuff. Generative AI is the new exciting stuff, but the content and managing it and managing knowledge is, yeah, the boring bread and butter stuff, but it's so important, we find. And without that, it's and so we have some proof of concepts where the first step of it is getting the information organized, and that's exactly the same step that we had 20 years ago when we was building these systems. And fortunately, we have a system very capable in that area. and fits well with some of the methods that we've just seen. So, as you say, that's another a long conversation around that.